Here we are live, and I'm joined by Monica Hebert, and I've got to tell you, I've been looking forward to this, Monica. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, flattery gets you everywhere.
Yeah, it gets me through life, but Monica, I'm serious. I have been looking forward to this, and I'll tell you why. And we've got people joining us, and we're so grateful for that. But Monica, your publication on Substack is well. First of all, let's just set the scene. I'm here to pick your brain. I hope you're prepared. I hope you're well hydrated because it could get deep. Uh, your publication is titled The Daily Rewire. You've got 5.8 thousand subscribers. You're number 42 rising in the category of faith and spirituality. And it's kind of all happened very quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah, and that number 42 sometimes pops up to number 4, number 5, and then it slides back down. And then the other one, the other leaderboard is, I think I'm 50-something in the top new bestsellers. I've been in the top 10 of that category too. What we have to keep in mind is all of those numbers are calculated based on how much revenue you've brought into Substack through your subscriptions. That's really what happened. I would say, let's see, I have 189 paid annual subscribers, not monthlies, annuals. And when I first started on January 11th, in fact, I'm going to tell you, I got a big surprise coming January 11th for my 1-year anniversary. But when I first started, I already had an email list for my art business, so I imported that in. And several of my collectors immediately bought annual subscriptions. I didn't even ask for it. They just did it. So I carried on for a few months with that. And then a few people started buying the monthly subscriptions. And then nothing happened because I got really excited about the PDF world. From you. I learned from you. I did that first PDF in that first month. I did $1,000 in sales. And I started clipping along a little bit and I thought, but this really isn't who I am. This is not what I'm about and not what the Daily Rewire is about. And that's the other thing. From when I started, it was originally called Reclaim Your Dreams. And I moved it to the Daily Rewire because I wanted to convey to everybody to expect something from me every day, 7 days a week, because Substack will tell you when you join, it's a weekly newsletter. Oh, hell no. The world's moving way too fast for a weekly newsletter. I really think they need to reconsider how they set that up because it sets up writers for a difficult way of building community. And that is the key to the subscriptions, is that these people started feeling like they had a piece of me every day. I started getting either emails or direct messages telling me, I have my coffee with you every morning. And that's why I write at night and set it up to be sent out at 7:00 the next morning. And we'll have busy activity here in the US from 7 a.m. till about 11:00. And because we have a chat room going, besides all of the notes and the post, all of that is moving around all at the same time, and they all start talking to each other. And it's a very lovely thing to watch. But I don't give away any perks for taking an annual subscription. If you go to the sign up page, you'll see that I say things like join 100 plus other women who are working to reclaim their dreams, and so on and so forth. And occasionally I'll send my paid subscribers a free PDF based on the work that we're doing at the time. I just did this yesterday. I sent out 35 of them because they have to ask me for it. And, but I also put it as a carrot at the end of my, post. And it's not a CTA. I don't like CTAs. I write invitations. I invite them to come be a part of what this movement is about. And if they're a part of the movement, then they also get one of the guidebooks, whatever the topic is that we have at the time. Because I think I have 20 guidebooks written.
You are so clever, Monica.
I don't know.
Now, don't you be going humble on me now. Monica, you won't say it, but I will. You're one of the smartest people I know on Substack. And
Oh,
the evidence, no, come on. And the evidence is, well, all right, let's be serious now. The evidence is there, Monica. Now, just in that little bit of an intro spiel that you've given us, which I loved listening to, there's a few key words that you threw out there, and I might just clarify anyone who's listening to Monica that doesn't know what CTA means. It means what, Monica?
call to action.
So it's an old marketing phrase which refers to when you pop some kind of a question at the end of whatever you've done and you invite people to respond. Either you click, you call, you send in the old fashioned days, you send a self addressed envelope, whatever.
Yeah.
These the call to action. And you said that you're not so familiar, you're not so fond of a hard call to action. You use a soft invitation, which is a CTA, but not a CTA. But look, let me just wind back because I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. There's a lot of key words you used in that little intro there, Monica. One was community. Another thing you mentioned there, like just a throwaway, was the fact that the weekly newsletter is not really the way to success. And so your testimony to the fact that you can hit your followers and subscribers with daily content and not pee them off with too much Monica. In fact, some people are probably thinking I'm not getting enough of Monica. Is that right?
That's the surprising part. Absolutely. They will let me know if I have skipped a day.
Some people did let you know in a very measured way. You posted this recently, or you might have shared it with me personally. I hope I'm not giving away any. Uh, but you had a number of unsubscribes following one particular post, and it kind of caught you off guard, but kind of didn't catch you off guard. Can you recall that just recently? It was a post about joy versus gratitude.
Oh, that pissed off some people.
Yeah, oh, you can say pissed off on this, can you? Okay, fantastic.
Well,
Now
what
you've
are you
opened the
talking
gate.
about?
Now you've opened the gate. Thank you. I'm Australian. We swear like Australians.
Oh, baby,
Yeah.
bring it home.
What
Come on,
happened?
put the horse in the barn. I'm done. No, that one really, really did tick some people off.
Yeah.
I think I lost 100 free subscribers, and my
Yeah.
reaction was, "Bye-bye."
Right.
If you don't get it, if you are so tied up in your journal practice of your gratitudes that you can't consider an opportunity for personal growth with a different idea of how to approach that, then you don't need to be a part of what I'm doing, because what we're doing is moving fast in an
Yeah.
evolution approach to thinking about how we use our thoughts as opposed to what was taught. Gratitudes. Remember when gratitudes became hot? Do you remember this? Do you have an idea when this started? I know exactly
What?
the day it started.
What? Gratitude?
Mhm.
Good God. I was taught gratitude is good manners.
No, I'm
No?
talking about making a list of gratitudes every day.
Oh, gratitude note journaling and waking up in the morning and listing 10 things that you're grateful
Where did
for.
that all start?
Well, from the self-help,
Where did that
personal
start?
development, new age, new thought, religion. I don't know.
Oprah.
Oh, really?
She
She
announced
has
that
a lot to answer for, doesn't she?
she she announced that she had started doing 5 gratitudes every day. And the next thing you know, here comes this big flood of journals. Louise Hay shows up. I think Dr. Phil shows up. Everybody talks about how powerfully impactful the feeling of gratitude is. Now, I'm not taking that away from anybody. I
Mm,
understand that. What I'm saying is you make a practice out of that. You start going into a feeling of doing it by rote as opposed
mm.
to actually feeling it. I can
Yeah, right.
only say that because it happened to me. I remember the day just sitting there going, "Okay, what can I be grateful for today?" And, it was like it was something to check off my do list of chores I had to do that day instead of an actual experience that enhanced my life. So I wrote that post to challenge people to really look at how seriously it's working for them, because with the fast pace of the world right now and everything just zooming so quick, I prefer to capture little glimmers of joy and identify them with an adjective in a ledger. Like, 2 o'clock today, I was painting on that painting back there, and I did a stroke that I didn't know was gonna happen, and I did it, went, "Oh, look at that." All of a sudden, I had this little glimmer of joy, so I went and wrote it down, excited, fun, silly. That's it. And once you start writing down those little adjectives to describe an experience, you don't describe the event, you describe what you felt, you start seeing a pattern of things that are important to you. And when you start seeing a pattern like that, then you start becoming intentional about making choices on how you think and live through your day based on the patterns that you know that are important to you. That's all I was trying to say in that post. And 100 people were like, "Nah, you got to go."
Well, 100 people unsubscribing. Now, the more when you look at the metrics of the volume of subscribers you have, the more subscribers you have, the more chances you're going to have of unsubscribes. Let me ask you, uh, because this is something that catches a lot of people out on Substack. You see them mentioning about, oh, someone unsubscribed. I just wonder how often they're spending time looking at who's subscribing and who's unsubscribing, and how much attention they're giving to something that really isn't that important. Really, the reasons why people unsubscribe. What does you answer the question? How often do you check unsubscribes, and what does it mean to you?
I don't check unsubscribes. About once a day, I look at my back end, I look at the analytics. And, like today I did, and by the way, I've got 100 new subscribers since I lost the 100 subscribers. Um, and I kinda look at it and go, "Oh, okay, we're pushing closer to 6,000 now. Okay." It doesn't mean anything other than an acknowledgement. I don't really care. What I
Yeah.
care about, what I really care about is the community. And
Mm.
even my live chat is open to everybody, not just paid. It is open to everybody.
Well, I want to come back to all of this because I think it's almost something that we could call the moniker system for success on Substack. I really do. We're going to come back to that. But look, you're a little bit like an overnight success that took 30 years or 40 years or 70 years to happen, because you do proudly declare that you recently turned 70. You mention this age 70 quite often in your notes, and it obviously means something to you. What does it mean now that you've turned 70?
It's not really so much that it means something to me other than it catches me by surprise every time I think about it. It's that I'm trying to be a lighthouse to a whole swath of women who have been living under the guise of all of these shoulda, woulda, coulda, uh, rules over their lives. And I'm trying to say, if this crazy old broad at age 70 can do it, so can you. I'm trying to use the age thing as a way to remove any sense of, fear from somebody who wants to try to do whatever it is, whether they want their own Substack or whether they, wanna open up a tulip shop. I don't care what the thing is that they wanna do, but don't let your age be the reason you're not doing it, is really what I'm
I
trying to
saw
say.
you mentioned your own mother there recently, who sadly passed away. Well, we all have to go eventually. That I don't mean, that must sound terrible, but your mother passed away at age 72,
Mhm.
and you mentioned that your mother was a go-getter, and as you must be. How would she look upon you? What you're doing today? Would she be proud of you? What would she say to you?
My parents are from the deep bayous of Southwest Louisiana. Neither one of my parents went past the 8th grade. Okay, now they did very, very, very well with their businesses. I'm very proud of what they did. However, their ideology about what a woman could or could not do or should not do, it, I don't think they would have caught up by now, honestly. Dad might have, but mom was real stern. I'll tell you a quick story. I was appointed the uh, general manager of a major shopping center in Roanoke, Virginia. This was late 80s. I was so blown away, and I was excited because I was the advertising director for the company, and they bumped me up. I called my mom. "You took a man's job, Monica. Don't do that." That's what my mother said to me.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, what do I think she would think I'm doing right now? I don't think she understood the idea of a woman doing something other than taking care of her grandkids, and she'd say something like, "Oh, that's sweet, but where are the grandkids?" That's what she'd ask me, because
Do you think this is a generational thing only, or do you think this is it is, yeah.
although there is here in the US, there is a subsect of look, I live in Lynchburg, underneath the shadow of Liberty University. Loads of trad wives around here. Oh, loads of trad wives. Fine, go do your thing. You're gonna find out down the road that you were lied to, but okay, go ahead. Um, and to be honest with you, a few of them show up at my kitchen table every now and then because they get very confused about messaging. Um, I do think it's generational, and that's why I often put in a note or a post. Our grandmothers and mothers did not have the opportunity that we do
Yeah.
right now. And that's why I'm so hard hitting on this, like, break the damn rules. We don't need any rules. We survived everything. Come on, it's our time. Let's go.
Now you were a pastor's wife for 20 years, I think I've got that number right, or for some years. And I know that you've mentioned how in your posts and notes, what that experience could be like at the time, and now in contrast to the life you're living today, what are we looking at? Chalk and cheese? And can I ask you something deeply personal? Do you still have a faith?
Absolutely. Not in a church, not in the Trinity. Okay. I don't approach my faith from the traditional way of doing that. My faith is in my soul spirit within me. Okay.
Mm,
And I have other thoughts about that I'm not sure everybody else has developed enough to understand about what I think about the Trinity. But um,
yeah.
have you ever heard of a denomination called the Disciples of Christ? Not the Church of
No,
Christ.
sorry.
Okay, well, the
No, go
Disciples
ahead.
of Christ, I always laughed. That's what my husband was in, and that's what I was raised in. It's two steps from metaphysics. They just don't want to admit it, you know.
Right.
So it wasn't a big leap for me to deep dive into metaphysics because when I
Mm,
left the preacher, I moved to New York City and I did a deep, deep dive because, as you can imagine, there are enormous teachers all over Manhattan that I took advantage of
okay.
the whole time I was there. Um, so I am a woman of faith, but I'm a woman of faith in my relationship to my soul. That is my
Yeah.
primary thing every day.
Well, thank you for answering that, because that's quite a personal question, and I appreciate you answering it in the way that you've done. But let's now, you mentioned you were an advertising you're from an advertising background, advertising, marketing, therefore you have to have some knowledge of sales and the process of sales as well, because you can't be in advertising and marketing not understand how sales works. How important has that background been in what you've been doing in 2025, in the last 12 months that you've been on Substack and have grown this moniker system of success on Substack that we see?
I'm going to surprise you and tell you that basically all the rules that I lived with, all the framework of advertising and marketing pre-internet, because that's when I was heavy in it, none of that applies. But here's what does that doesn't change no matter what the mechanism for delivery of the message is. You've got to understand the psychology and the feeling and the thinking of the people you're writing for.
Mm,
You can't put yourself in their shoes and this isn't gonna work.
yeah,
No matter what brand, is trying to and branding is nothing more than building a relationship with the people that you wanna sell something to. That's all branding is. And to me, each person that becomes a part of the Daily Rewire has entered into a relationship with the whole community as well as me. And that it has to be kept at the forefront, so to speak. The standard marketing rules from print media and electronic media, none of that applies anymore. It just doesn't make any difference, I have found. And the reason I'm laughing is because I tried to use them and it fell flat. I laughed about it at myself and I pulled my hair out like, what's going on? Because this is what I know how to do and it's not working.
What's an example, please, of an old school that you found just isn't applicable anymore?
Ads. There was a time I had a full art business before I started Substack, and I grew my Facebook art page significantly and somewhat significantly on Instagram. I hate Instagram. I think that it's the most wasteless piece of time. But anyway, and hate's a strong word, but that's how I feel about it. I had a budget of $250 a month on Facebook for 2 years. Never sold a piece of art from it. I took courses and classes and workshops and paid oodles of money for a fancy website. That's another thing I don't have anymore is a regular website. I don't believe in them. That's a huge waste of money. It's a glossy business card online that I don't need to spend money doing that,
Yeah.
And so I spent all that money on the ads on Facebook, testing, doing the A/B stuff, different hooks, different headlines. It doesn't feel honest. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I always had this slimy feeling when I was doing it, and that could be a major factor of why it didn't work. But here's the one place it did work. Those 1,500 people email addresses that I brought over to Substack came from the ad campaigns on Facebook. Because they would respond to a giveaway or something, and I'd collect an email address. So I started with 1,500. Is the best way.
And now you're up to 5,800. All right, so let's get into this Substack part of it. So you're using Substack and just Substack. That's you don't have another off platform. You're not hooked into. You mentioned you had some PDFs going on another platform, but you've pivoted away from that, and you're doing what you're doing now very successfully. All right, I want to ask you about these notes that you write because I read them and I'm a little bit jealous. If you don't mind me being quite frank with you, I'm a little bit jealous, Monica, because your notes are far better than what I could ever come up with. And I want to know how you do it because you just tell us, what's your process for writing those beautiful notes that you send out every day?
Let's see. Let me take the most recent one I did today. I was really upset by what happened in Minneapolis. Okay. I mean, shaking upset. Because I used to be very, very politically active. I mean, I used to manage congressional campaigns. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I used to seriously be into it. And I was in the kitchen and my phone is always with me because I have a golden rule about that. I live alone. If I fall, how am I going to get to my phone? My phone always has to be with me. Okay.
Right.
Bathroom, kitchen, I don't care. Phone's with me. So the phone was with me and something flicked onto my head. I said, oh, if I'm this upset, my people, and I do consider my readers my people. I said, my people, what can I give them to ease some of this angst that you could just feel it in the country. You could walk down the sidewalk where I live and you could just feel it. It was going up this way. Mm-hmm. So I dictated what I wanted to say into my phone, finished loading my dishwasher, came back to my desk, and I put it in a document on my phone and uploaded it to my Google Docs on my desk, cleaned it all up, ran it through ChatGPT for one pass for grammar, tone, whatever, ran it back through Claude for one final pass, okay, because Claude has a refinement that ChatGPT doesn't have. And then I sent it. And then I took it down because I wanted to rethink about it. And I took it down and then I put it back up with the photograph of the painting called Pathway to Peace. because I wanted people to think about peace, not think about having anxiety.
Let me just run that back to you again as I heard it. So you have an idea and you voice record your speaking voice, speaking out exactly what you're feeling and thinking. Then you have that turned into text and you put that into a Google Doc. Then you run that Google Doc text through ChatGPT for polishing, editing, and grammar checks.
Mhm,
Then you take ChatGPT's version and give that to Claude and ask it to do its thing.
mhm.
And then when Claude is finished, that's what you've got to publish. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I've just learned something. I wanted to, and I knew I'd get something out of this. And I don't use Claude. And guess what? I'm going to give it a run because I want my I want my notes to be as impressive as yours. Not because I want them to be impressive so that I can, "Huh, aren't I
No,
great? Aren't I?"
you wanna attract, subscribers. I mean, that
I want
note
to
I
connect.
told you about that hit 10,000, or was it
Yeah.
11,000? That note brought me 120 subscribers.
Now let's just get that clear. You've had a note that went viral by virtue of 10 or 11,000
Mhm,
likes,
mhm.
however many comments, but you picked up how many subscribers from it?
About
120?
120 subscribers and then $800 in revenue.
$800 in revenue. So whichever way you want to measure it. Whether it's the vanity metrics that you're after, viewers. And by the way, we must thank Monica. We've got over 50 people joining us here. It's obviously for you, because I don't get that many when I'm on a live. You've got a lot of fans and followers and subscribers, and we do appreciate all 53 of you who are with us and
Hey,
staying with us.
everybody.
And yeah, too right. And for those of you, I can see a few of you sending some hearts to Monica. That's great. And if you're watching it on the replay as well, thank you for watching the replay.
This is
For those
incredibly
of us who,
humbling.
it is, isn't it? Isn't it
Yeah,
though?
it
The
is.
reach that we've got through this platform, it is just humbling, but it's so fascinating. And I think we said it before we went live, or we said it early in the piece when we went live. Isn't it amazing here? I'm sitting here in Melbourne, Australia on Thursday morning, coming up to midday. You're there in somewhere in the United States, Wednesday evening, coming up to 8 p.m. And yet look at us here having this chat.
No,
And years ago, I remember, Monica, years ago, I'm not that much off your age. I'm turning 68 soon. I can remember years ago when they said one day we'd be having telephone calls and see the other person we're talking to, and I couldn't get it. In the same way they said years ago that one day we'd be reading newspapers on a screen, and I thought, but how will you turn the pages? It was just couldn't comprehend it. But anyway, uh, vanity metrics, no, that's not what you're after, Monica. Uh, Subscriber numbers, yes, because that's more people you can connect with, bring into your community as you describe it, and then reach them. Your people, you call them. They're not subscribers; they're your people, and I love that. And it just goes to show the heart that you have in this. For now, frequency of posting and publishing. You're a frequent publisher. How many times on average do you think you'd publish a note per day?
a note
Yeah,
for
4 a day,
mhm,
and you send an email post every day,
mhm,
and you connect. I know you do. I think you do 2 live video streams with your people a week,
mhm.
and you do a live chat. Is that every day in the chat room, or how many times do you do a
I
live
do a
chat?
prompt in the chat room a couple of times a day, depending like, I only did one today, and then when the Minnesota thing happened, I could sense what was going on, so I did a prompt to talk about, "Remember to do your breathing, the 4-4-6 breathing, calm down, take here's what I'm doing to take care of me," kinda thing, because I felt like, um that would be an okay thing to do. But listen, they show up in that damn chat. If I get up in the middle of the night to go to the ladies' room, I pick up my phone and they're all in the chat. It's just really cool.
Isn't it cool though? Isn't it?
Mhm.
What have I got? Let me check. Excuse me while I just check my notes here. Number
Yeah.
42, rising in faith and spirituality. Did you purposely choose that category right from the start and you just haven't changed it, or was that intentional?
That was very intentional. very intentional.
Okay.
There on the phone, there's a category that says New Age and Alternative Faith, but that's not available on the desktop when you set up your Substack. Because I tried to go back and change it, but it's not available. I don't know what that
All
is.
right.
That's
And
weird.
the orange circle next to your name, you mentioned that that's a metric that Substack uses, and it's correlated to the revenue that you're raising through your publication.
Yeah.
And that's why you've got an orange circle with a tick next to your profile name. Is there another metric that Substack uses where you're a bestseller, and what's that rated on? Because I didn't think that the bestseller versus rising in a category is the same.
No, they're not. Rising is how much about every 24 hours, rising changes. Like on Monday, I was 6. Today, I'm 42. Tomorrow, I'll probably go back up to 7 or 8 because 6 paid annuals came through today. So, but yesterday, 2 came through. So you see, that's what rising is about. It's the accumulation of those numbers, and whatever happens in the previous 24-hour period is how it shows up on the rising leaderboard. The bestseller is when you hit 10,000.
Oh, okay. When you hit 10,000 subscribers, you become a bestseller?
No,
No,
$10,000
$10,000 in a month or annualized?
annualized.
And at $10,000 annualized, you become a bestseller. And they've got another metric that measures your day-to-day income, and that's why you're in the top 100, number 42, as of this morning, my time.
Hmm, I didn't know.
Right.
I don't pay attention to that one anymore. Um, I actually think Substack thinks too small. I really
Oh, do tell. Do
yeah.
tell.
I mean, come on, 10,000 a year? Really? Let's get this up a little bit. So the amount of work I put into this, and I'm not complaining, but I'm saying let's get that metric up a little bit, okay?
Well, let me take a contrarian point of view here.
Sure.
Uh, there are people on Substack who don't think they are entitled, that is, deserve to be paid $5 a month for a paywall subscription. And you don't strike me as somebody lacking in any way of confidence. But what do you say to somebody who is on Substack? They do want to monetize their writing. They are interested in being paid, and that's no sin. What do you say to them about going the next step and putting something behind a paywall and opening it up? And then I'm going to ask you what your rates are at the moment: monthly, annual, and founder.
All right.
Fire
Um,
away, and I'll take a little sip too.
I used to
Mm.
have the same conversation with emerging artists who were trying to establish an art career. And they had this thing in their head about their art's kind of like a ministry. You're not supposed to get paid. Let me tell you something right now. Okay. You're looking at the woman who negotiated her ex husband, the minister. When it was time for a contract, they came to me, not him, because you want his time and you want his time 24/7 and you're not willing to pay for it because it's a ministry. Really? Okay. Are you just not going to pay your electricity? I mean, tell me what the difference is. It's about where people choose to put their value for themselves and for the readers. What I'm trying to say is when a creative person begins the journey to um, publish their work or produce their art or whatever it is, they have to do some mental work on getting comfortable with the fact that they're creating a commodity. They are creating, but it is a commodity. Otherwise, why create it? And I mean, if you're just going to create art to keep in your home for yourself and give away, who cares? If you're just going to write for yourself, who cares? Keep it to yourself. But if you're coming to a website designed for everybody to make money, which is what I love about Substack, now you have to cross that threshold and recognize you're creating a commodity and that has value. And to not offer a subscription for what you do is basically saying to potential readers, you're not that important. in my world. I'm not going to extend you the invitation to become a part of it. That's really what you're saying. You're saying, no, you don't get to have this. And I don't think that's very responsible. Does that
I
make
love
sense?
it, Monica, and I'm going to declare that I've been on Substack for 3 years, mostly not on Substack. I just fiddled and farted around with it, not took it seriously. Last year, I got a bit more involved, but I still didn't open the paywall. I don't know what the barrier was, but in seeing and talking with you, because I consider you a friend, I saw what you were doing and we had some chats, and I opened the paywall up and 2 weeks ago, and I've not had one monthly subscriber. I've got 3 annuals. 3 people joined me and my content and paid the annual subscription up front. And so I just wonder, Monica, we've got 60 people watching us at the moment, watching you and listening to you. I wonder if there's
Hey,
just
everybody.
one person. Yeah, too right. I wonder if there's one person with us at the moment who might just be inspired enough. They haven't got a they haven't got a subscription yet, but they may go to their Substack settings and open it up tonight or tomorrow and start even with a $5, $10 monthly subscription. Just be inspired to do it. Help them out, Monica. What have they got to do and why should they do it?
I think $5 is a joke, and you shouldn't do it. At least bump yourself up to 7 or 8. Okay.
Well, tell us, what are your rates? What are your fees?
My monthly is 15. My annual is 85, and my founder is 150.
How many founders do you have?
4.
Okay, and most okay, 15, 100, 15, 80, and 150. Did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a question. You mentioned very early in the piece that you don't. Oh, okay. Let's preface. So somebody with us right now, watching you, listening to you, Monica, is almost on the cusp of going over the line and setting up a paywall, a subscription. But they're anxious, nervous, and they think, and it's a barrier. I've got free subscribers. I just don't know what I could offer beyond free to justify people paying me for. And you mentioned that you don't add so much extra value yet. Now talk to us about that. The
No,
difference
I do
between
not
free.
add anything extra at
Yeah,
all.
this is important. This is important. So what are they buying?
I struggled with that, honestly, in the very beginning. What they're buying is the community called Monty Rose Soul.
They're
They're
buying you.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
They are buying. They are
Yeah.
buying you and
Yeah.
what you provide and what you
I mean, my
deliver.
screen is
That's
my
marvelous.
y'all can't see this, but my screen is blinking right now. I've got 5 direct messages coming in right now, people wanting to ask me questions. I dedicated
Brilliant.
my entire life to this. Now, not everybody else has the freedom and the time to do that, but I set this up to be a complete community, not and that's why I don't like to go off the Substack site to sell anything. Um, but I'm gonna have to with what I'm getting ready to do January 11th. But, um, the the reason I didn't wanna do the perk thing is, first off, the PDFs I give to my paid subscribers when it's, suitable to whatever the subject is we're talking about. The second thing is, I'm not a coach. I'm not doing life coach. That ain't happening. You wanna call me and talk about something, we can do it, but I'm not gonna charge you for it. I that's not my bag, that's not what I do. Um, and I couldn't figure out, I thought, "Okay, I can give people art prints." Yeah, that didn't do anything. That didn't mean anything. So what I put in there, when you become an annual subscriber, you're gonna join a network or community of 100 plus women like you. And I can't tell you how many times people write me and say, "I finally feel seen."
Hmm? Wowee, what price would you put on that?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
What's the gender split? You target women, but I'm a bloke and I follow you and I get into your stuff. What's your gender split? Do you know?
It's about 99% women.
Okay.
occasional man. The problem, and don't take this wrong, Mike, okay? But the problem that perks up, not from me, but from the men, is they wanna come in and do this authoritarian speak and take control of whatever I said in the note and tell me that I said it wrong and here's how they're gonna do it. Their asses get blocked. They don't get to
Hmm.
stay around. "You're not playing my game. This is mine. I built it. You go away."
Yeah,
The ones
good for
that
you.
stay around are what I call Renaissance men, and, like, I have a man who shows up in the chat frequently. He's a publisher of numerous books. He has one on Amazon that I intend to get, and I would have never known it had he not talked about it in chat. But he joined because his wife joined, and she was, Kathy chatting about what's going on with Monica over on Substack, so he decided to join, and they do it together, and that's swell, but you have to be a bit of a Renaissance man in your thinking for any of this to work, and Mike, clearly you are, clearly.
Well, Monica, I just love what you're doing and how you've done it. I followed your progress during 2025, and I just can't imagine that you won't keep going. I mean, there's been exponential, and then I reckon it's going to be just explosive. Incremental, I should say, and then I think it'll be exponential, and you'll be right up there. But I think I'm now respectful of your time, Monica, and of the time of our viewers that have joined you on this live. Uh, is there any chance we could get just a slight hint of what's coming up on January 11? Could we get an exclusive?
Let me think about that. It's gonna last for 24 hours, and if you miss it, you're gonna go, "Oh, shit, I missed it."
Okay, all right. So January 11's in the book, and we're not going to miss it because it's only going to last for 24 hours, and it's going to be something special. All right, I'm going to be watching out for it. Monica Hebert, I have been looking forward to you joining me on this live. You haven't disappointed one bit. You've over delivered. You've been, because you over deliver without even trying. You're just Monica, and this is, I think, why people are attracted and drawn to you. Your notes blow me away. I'm extremely jealous. I'm still jealous, but I'm going to put your little Monica success system for Substack note writing system to including Claude to use. I'm going to try it. You've got a marketing background, sales background, former pastor's wife. You are into painting. I love your art. You're beautiful. Your painting's beautiful. And there you are, where you are.
I've also done
Uh,
contract deals with Columbia Records and Warner Brothers.
what? Get out of here.
Yeah, I was in the music business. I produced classical pianists for 20 years.
That's right. Remember seeing that. Are there any things that you haven't done?
See, here's the thing. Being a preacher's wife, selling classical music or producing it, writing a Substack, it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. My driving passion across all of those things that I did was to do something for and to connect with other human beings. It
People, yeah. You're a people person.
that's the whole thing in a nutshell. It's all whether I was in an ad agency, was how was I gonna sell the diapers so mama would have a better day, not how am I gonna sell the diapers to get the unit sales up. I wanted mama to have a better day. It comes from the perspective of recognizing that we're kind of all in this together.
Yeah.
By the way,
Well, I've got to
I have one more thing to interject, and then I'll say goodnight.
go for it.
Please practice with me. Monica A. Bear.
Oh my God, have I butchered it again? I've got it. I've got it written on a piece of paper. I practiced for 10 minutes before going live. Have I got it wrong?
A bear, like a
Oh my goodness!
bear in the
You know
woods.
what? I'm not going to publish this. We're going to have to do it again. All
Oh,
right, let
well,
me.
then it'll be fun. Hey, it'll be
No,
fun. Say,
no, the H is silent. It's a bear. Monica A bear. Oh, that wasn't so hard. I'll practice that for 10 minutes when we're off. Monica, Monica A bear. I do love you and what you do,
"Hey, guy."
and I'm very grateful and joyful that you've joined me and the 68 people who are still with us, or still with you, watching you and live. And thank you very much. Parting words, apart from I've got the name right, Monica. Parting words for your fans and followers who are sticking with you and watching you right now. What is it?
Parting words. First off, Mike, thank you for sharing your platform with me. I appreciate that. Parting words. Oh God, this is it. Please, please, for the love of God, let yourself off the hook. Stop keeping score whether you went through your do list and got it done that day or not. That is all self-sabotage. If you're gonna keep score the way you loved yourself that day. When you get in bed, how did you take care of yourself? Did you get a bite of chocolate? Perchance that's loving yourself. Did you get a good cold beer? That's loving yourself. What did you do? Did you read the book of Psalms? I don't care what it is, but do something to love yourself instead of kicking yourself around for not getting everything done you said you wanted to do that day.
Monica A. Bear, publisher of the Daily Rewire, 5.8 thousand subscribers and growing. Today, as of today, my time, number 42, rising in faith and spirituality. Recently turned 70 and loves it. Loves life, loves Substack, loves her people, and she loves this little bit of a chat that I was able to organise. And thank you so much. And thanks again to the viewers who have stuck with you and watched you all the way through. I'm going to press end now and let you get on with your night. And same to you with the viewers. Thank you very much for joining us. Monica and I really appreciate it. Good night. All the best.